All right, let's solve a mystery that you probably run into every single time you're at the grocery store. That sugar-free label. You see it everywhere. It seems so simple, right? But what it really means, well, that's a whole puzzle. Let's dive in.
So you see that label on a bag of candy. It says sugar-free, but you pop one in your mouth and, wait a minute, the candy is still sweet. How does that work?
Or you try a cookie that's supposed to be sugar-free, and yep, it absolutely still tastes like a dessert. I mean, the texture, the flavor, it's all there.
And that diet soda? Oh yeah, it still has that super satisfying kick. It feels like you found some kind of cheat code, you know? Like you're getting away with a treat without any of the consequences. Or at least, that's what we tell ourselves. So, you have to wonder, if the experience feels pretty much the same, what exactly got removed from the recipe? Because it clearly wasn't the part our taste buds noticed first. And this is where the plot really thickens. Because you start to notice it's not just one label we're dealing with. The mystery is actually a lot bigger than we thought.
Okay, now look at this. At a glance, you'd think these all mean the same thing, right? But nope. Sugar-free is a very specific legal claim. No added sugar just means they didn't add any during processing, but the food itself could be packed with natural sugars, think fruit juice. And unsweetened? That one can be a real wild card depending on what you're buying. Suddenly, that whole grocery aisle starts to feel a little bit deceptive, doesn't it?
And all this confusion, it leads us to make some, well, let's just say some pretty big and very wrong assumptions about what that sugar-free label is actually promising us. So let's just tear them down one by one. First up, the most obvious one. We assume sugar-free means no sweetness. But as we already figured out, that's just not true. The sweetness is almost always still there, front and center. Then there's the second mistake, thinking it means no carbs. But come on, a sugar-free cookie is still made of flour, right? And flour and all those other ingredients definitely have carbohydrates. Which leads us directly to assumption number 3. No calories. Again, not even close. It might have fewer calories than the regular version, but it's very, very rarely 0.
And finally, we get to the most dangerous assumption of them all. We see sugar-free and we think no problem, that this thing is automatically healthy or at least harmless. And that's where we can really get into trouble.
Okay, this is so important to understand. We think of sugar as having one job, sweetness. But in food science, sugar is the ultimate multitasker. It's a superstar. It handles texture, keeps things moist, helps with browning, controls how a cookie spreads in the oven, gives it that perfect chew, adds thickness. It even helps it last longer on the shelf. So when you take sugar out, you're not just removing a single ingredient, you're firing the most important employee on the team. So let's get to the heart of the matter. This is where we have to separate what we feel like the label should mean from what it is legally required to mean. They are not the same thing. And boom, here it is. This is the key. Sugar-free is not a health statement. It is a specific, narrow, legal claim. It means one thing and one thing only. The product has less than half a gram of sugar per serving. That's it. It says nothing about calories or carbs or anything else. It is a technicality, not a nutritional guarantee. So if Sugar, our superstar employee, has left the building, but all of its jobs still need to get done, what happens? Well, the company has to hire a whole new crew to pick up the slack. I love this way of thinking about it. Imagine it's a stage play. The lead actor, Sugar, who's also secretly running the lights and sound, suddenly quits. But the show must go on. So a whole replacement crew has to rush in. You get a new actor, a sweetener, just to handle the sweetness. Then another one, maybe a sugar alcohol, comes in to provide that bulk and mouthfeel. And then you have a fiber or a gum that has to step in just to get the texture right. It's not a simple swap, it's a complete reformulation. And who's in this replacement crew? Well, it's usually a cocktail of these guys. You've got your high-intensity sweeteners that are incredibly sweet, you've got sugar alcohols for that bulk, and then a whole team of fibers, starches, and gums all working together to try and replicate what sugar used to do all by itself. Okay, so now that we know the secret, what do we actually do with this information? It's time to put on our detective hats and learn how to really read the label. Here it is. This is the single most important rule to remember, so burn this into your brain. The front of the package is just a headline. It's marketing. It's designed to catch your eye. It is not the full story. And it is definitely not the final verdict.
So here's your action plan. It's super simple. 1. See that sugar-free claim for what it is, a headline. 2. Immediately, and I mean immediately, flip the package over. 3. Go straight to the nutrition facts and look for the real story. Check the total carbs, check the calories. And 4. Scan that full ingredient list to see who's on the replacement crew. The truth is always on the back.
But there is one final twist to this whole mystery, and honestly, it kind of reframes everything. The problem isn't that the label is lying to us. The problem is that we and the label, we don't speak the same language.
See, when our brain hears 0 sugar, we translate that into harmless, free pass, eat as much as you want. But the label is speaking a totally different language. It's speaking the language of technical definitions, of legal thresholds, of specific serving sizes. The label can be 100% legally accurate and still give us a completely wrong impression.
And that brings us to the ultimate question, doesn't it? The mystery was never really just about how something can still taste sweet. The real mystery is, why do we keep giving a single marketing phrase on the front of a box the power to tell us the entire story?
So the next time you see that sugar-free headline, you'll know what's really going on. Don't just ask what they took out. Flip that package over and ask the much more important question, what did they put in to replace it? Because that's where you'll find the real story.